Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans, and of course, Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. Episode 215. Happy Father's Day to everybody. Happy Father's Day to Bodie, Chase, and our good friend T. Will here from One Time for the Fan. Terry.
Yes, sir. Happy Father's Day, Jack.
Happy Father's Day to you once again, man. Everything's going well over here in Jack Spade world. House of the Falcons podcast. We'll get to that shortly. But Terry, last time we talked was on Friday with our pop-up show in the middle of the day. Lunch with One Time for the Fan. We missed breakfast. So we did lunch with One Time for the Fan. So
that we
know a lot of Falcon fans are like, what happened to breakfast with One Time for the Fan? It's still here, and it'll be back on Friday. But we had some timing difficulties on Friday. But Terry, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing fine, man. I have no complaints. Happy Father's Day, obviously, to you and all the fathers in the world, and definitely all the fathers that are fans of this podcast. And hey, man, all is going well. I have no complaints. How about you? How was your Father's Day, Jack?
So far, so good, man. We still have a couple hours left of Father's Day. I think a good way to end the evening is with House of the Dragon. So that starts here in a matter of minutes. Falcon fans who do enjoy watching Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, it is tonight. We've waited a long time.
Is this season 2? Is this the season 2?
Yes, Terry, you are on point. So you get a touchdown early here in the podcast. A touchdown for Terry.
Hey,
touchdown for Terry for knowing
that House
the last the Dragon is in
I need
season
a touchdown. 2. I got a penalty the last episode. I have a 15-yard penalty. So
I think we know why you got the penalty the last time. Fans in the cat. Kerry racked up some penalty yards too as well. Big shout out to Kerry from One Time for the Fan.
Kerry!
Big shout out to Kerry. Big shout out to Bodie too as well. He just posted a picture not too long ago. I think he's at the amusement park. I don't know if he's with the family today. He has an off day or he's working on the rides. So Bodie, if you can take a step away from fixing the mine train and come say hi to everybody here in the podcast, that'd be great. But for those that are here watching, for those that are here listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, we are doing the damn thing, I think. Terry, am I right, Terry? Is that what they call doing the damn thing?
Doing the damn thing. That's right. That's I feel like that's something from my generation.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Jack, we had a mini get together yesterday with some work buddies, and they had this game called All of Us. And the cool thing about it is, have you heard of it? Have you heard of this game?
I've never heard of it. No, but you're putting me up on game here.
Well, essentially, it represents all of the age groups. So you got baby boomers, Gen Xers, millennials, Gen Y. Mm-hmm. And there are questions from each group. And I guess you team up with someone else or some other folks from different age groups. And obviously the people with the team with the highest score wins. But it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool game. So, you made me think of that when you were, talking about this saying or colloquialism from the Gen X time frame. So anyway, sorry about that. Rapper lyric. I told you that flower boom in a dark room. Would you trust it? Ooh.
That flower
if
boom.
I told you that flower bloom in a dark room, would you trust?
I told you that flower boom in a dark room. Would you trust
it? That's eerily similar, or it kind of reminds me of Tupac's "Rose in the Concrete," but I don't think that's it. I don't think that rings of Tupac.
If I told you a flower bloom, if I told you a flower bloom in a dark room, would you trust it? I've heard that lyric so many times. And the sad part is here on the podcast, I can't remember who's it from.
Is that Lil Wayne, perhaps, or I don't know.
If I told you that the flower bloom in a dark room, would you trust it? It's either 50 Cent. Oh, it's either 50 Cent. If I told you a flower bloom in a dark room, would you trust it? It's got to be 50 Cent, Wayne. That's something that ain't old school. I was about to say, I was going to say Method Man, but I was like, shit, let me not go there. I'm going to go. Matter of fact, if I told you that a flower bloom in a dark room, would you trust it? If I told you that a flower bloom in a dark room, that's got to be, I think it's Wayne. Am I right? I mean, can we look at the answer? Are we allowed to look at the answer now? Deshaun, go ahead and pop the answer in the chat.
Deshaun, you stopped us. It's Kendrick Lamar.
If I told you that a flower bloom in a dark room,
it's Kendrick Lamar.
Oh my God! I told you
Wow.
that lyric was like new. I've heard that
Wow.
lyric too many times. I can't believe he got us.
Wow, Deshaun, you've been on a roll, buddy.
He got
You
us.
have been on a Deshaun has upped his game, man. I gotta give it to him. Like, in the beginning, it was like one time for the fan, giving it to him, but now he's got us on the ropes, man. He's got
Deshaun, big shout out to you, man. I hope you're I hope you're doing really well too as well. I know you had a situation earlier this year, so best of all respects from here one time for the fan to you, Deshaun, and your family. We do hope that you're at 100%, man, because you just stomped us, right? And we need more of this on the podcast, Deshaun. So I've heard that lyric before. Oh, that's in the thunder and rain. That's that song. And that's that Kendrick Lamar song. Oh man, I can't believe he got me with that.
Got us.
Heard that song
he got us,
damn
man.
Times, bro.
He got us. All right, Deshaun, what's up, Wallace? What's up, DSCB? What's up, song, Lisa? Yeah. He got us. Hey, he stepped his game up, man. He's definitely
Wallace Smith is in the chat. Lisa Shepard is in the chat. DSGB Hall is in the chat. Look, tag your Falcons friends. Tell your Falcons family. One time for the fan is live. It's going to be a short podcast tonight. We're not going to do the whole hour and 15 minutes or a whole hour and 30, or even if Scott Karisic is here, 3-hour podcast.
Oh my gosh!
It's House of the Dragons time tonight.
House of the Dragon.
So I will pick up dinner soon. Get ready for House of the Dragons.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
Now, I've not watched House of the Dragon. I did watch Game of Thrones all the way to the end. Has there been, and those of you Falcon fans out there, when I say this, you're going to know, in this iteration of the show, in other words, the prequel or whatever, has there been a show equivalent to the Red Wedding to this point?
No.
Okay.
No. Honestly, I mean, a sad scene for those that seen Game of Thrones, but I don't think nothing has lived up to the Red Wedding. Matter of fact, the fight scenes and some of the battle scenes that Game of Thrones has, it's tough for any show to live up to that because they have years and years of just fandom, right? Like Game of Thrones fans are a little bit different. It's kind of like last night watching Playboy Cardi perform at Summer Smash. You have a certain type of fans that are just die hard for you. Okay. Like 24/7, don't matter. Every true fans, 100%. You wake up in the morning, 8 o'clock, you're talking Game of Thrones. You go to bed at 12 o'clock at night, you're talking Game of Thrones. They have those fans, and it's been built up over the years. I don't know if it's because of the books from George R. Martin or just because of the show is just so damn good. But the spinoff, House of the Dragons, now is going crazy. So that is doing numbers. They just renewed for season 3, and then they're bringing out a Night of the Seven Kingdoms Game of Thrones spinoff that's coming off in 2026. So there's a lot that's coming out for Game of Thrones that, I can't wait to talk about on the next podcast at One Time for the Fan. Tonight, here on One Time for the Fan, we are talking some Falcons football for those here in the chat. Because I know some people heard some things over the past couple of days about the Atlanta Falcons, and we're going to go ahead and talk about that tonight. Calling all Madden players, we have a question for you. And I think some of y'all are going to be very upset. DSGB Hall's in the chat with the happy Father's Day.
What's up, DSGB? Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, Wallace Smith, and Deshaun, if you are a father, and to all the fathers out there. What's up, Lisa?
Big shout out to Lisa Shepard in the chat. Lisa Shepard hit us with the Kendrick?
Yes, that's what I said, Lisa. Of course, I don't know any of this new school music, so he could have said anybody. I wouldn't have known. But,
you see, Deshaun's also putting you up on game. So when you're finished with this, go listen to that same lyric because that song by Kendrick Lamar was dope.
I'm going to be able to impress my son pretty soon, man. You guys,
I'm sure you will. When you come in the house, how old is your son?
19.
19. When you walk into the house tomorrow, listening to Ken Carson and some of those Opium guys and some of those Lil Baby, a lot of these other artists, he's going to say, Pops, I didn't know you was that swagged out. Like, hey, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You
just got it in me, bro.
Hey, man, you're increasing my street cred. That's all I got to say, man. I dropped one on him the other day, something you said, and he was like, oh, and I was, well, okay, he didn't do that. But the look on his face was like, oh, right? And I was
looking at you like you've been on that podcast a lot, man. You've been on that podcast too much. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Let's talk some Falcons football.
Let's get into it.
We're well aware that the Falcons had a lot of options to draft night.
Mm-hmm.
right? Sitting at number 8. I'm sure there's a lot of people that believe that the Falcons could have traded up, could have traded back. Remember during our draft show, we kept calling defensive players Jared Verse and was it Latu and Dallas Turner and maybe a cornerback or so many other positions the Falcons could have looked at in the NFL outside of the quarterback position at 8. But to hear weeks later that there were teams, I'm sorry, let me get the banner out of the way, that there were teams trying to move up to get that 8th spot. And I know we are, 2 months past the draft now? But still, Terry, we continue to hear more draft night. Not even just rumors about, what's going on. The Atlanta Falcons declined a trade with the Chicago Bears on draft night. A lot of Falcon fans are talking about this. Why didn't we trade back? Why did we make this move? Why don't we, try to gain some, extra value in the future? As you can see, the Bears were open to trading a 4th to the Falcons to move from 9 to 8 to secure Rome Odunze.
A 4th.
Seems like Atlanta wasn't interested.
A 4th in 2025, right? A 4th. It wasn't a 4th in 2024. It was a 4th in 2025.
Sheesh.
I thought that's what they said. Wow.
Falcon fans, you can see here.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. The Bears.
I did that the other day talking to my wife. I finished the song and it was like a mic drop moment. And I was like, wow. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? But anyway, Jack, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's getting to the point here. I gotta watch out because you might be in those conversations telling people, wow, at the end of the conversation. They're looking at you like, where did that wow come from?
What the hell is he talking about? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I do it enough.
You never know. You could be out there talking Falcons this season at a game, practice, and if somebody says something and Terry's behind you, wow. Big shout out to Terry. The Bears tried to trade with the Falcons on draft night. Terry, Falcons said no. They stuck with their guns at 8, and they went with Michael Penix.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have made this move? Getting a future 4th. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, we don't know about the tampering situation at this time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see right here at the bottom of the screen. We'll go ahead and pull it up for you guys. They are planning and plotting. You can see in the back room. Let's call Terry. Let's call Terry, right? The Falcons general manager. Let's call him.
Get him on the phone now.
It's good to see these videos weeks after. Like, we always wanted to wonder what happens in the war room, from our Atlanta Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
But then you see what's going on with other teams. I think there was a couple other NFL teams that mentioned the Falcons too as well in the war room that night. But to see video of the Bears wanting to make a move and trade up one spot to get their wide receiver. Did they really think the Falcons were going to go wide receiver? Or, Terry, was this a move to try to get the Falcons out of 8th so another team could trade with the Bears and move up to grab Michael Penix? That's what I'm looking at. Maybe there's another team that hit the Bears up like, hey, call the Falcons, see if they'll take this, and then we'll call you guys at 8 and then see how we can make a move XYZ. Because at that point in time, a lot of NFL teams know who they're going with on draft night.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons would know at 7 who the Giants were taking or the Titans. They would know at 5 who the Cardinals were taking or the Chargers. Teams know this on draft night, right? I mean, sometimes you might get shocked or surprised, but for the most part, a lot of these GMs, you even heard the conversation the other day with who was it? It was 2 GMs that was on NFL Network, and they were talking about making the trade. The Eagles and the Commanders about making a trade, and they were going to give up the 51st and the 53rd and the 116, and the Eagles called the Commanders back, and the Commanders GM is like, you're a pain in the ass, telling the GM that to the Eagles about these trades they try to make behind the scenes. But to see these videos come out now, these reports come out about trade speculation the night of draft. Terry, what's your thoughts on why the Falcons declined this trade from the Chicago Bears?
Yeah, I just think it wasn't enough value that they were getting back in their money. So even though you're going from 8 to 9, it's expensive if you're going to trade in the top 10, because the world is your oyster at that point. Everything is at your disposal. And I guess they felt like a 4th round pick next year was not enough value. If the Bears would have said, okay, we'll give you a 2nd round pick this year to do that, maybe their response is different, but a 4th round pick next year, I think just, looking at, and again, hindsight is 2020, right? You got to think there's a lot going on at that time. They're focusing on getting their guy. They're looking at who's got, so there's a lot of moving parts, and I know they're professionals, but still they're human beings. But I think that a 4th round pick in 2025, big whoop, big you, because I don't have to trade with you. Right. So,
you're not forced to trade.
Right. I'm not forced to. And they say that in a negotiation, a really good negotiation, both people kind of hurt a little bit. Both people gain, but both people kind of hurt a little bit. But in my mind's eye, if I'm the GM of the Falcons, if I'm just not blown off my feet, I'm not trading it. Because again, I probably will never be
in this position again.
I won't be in this position again. So you're enticing me with what, a 4th round pick from next year?
Mm-hmm.
No,
just a 4th, just a quick swap and a 4th, not even like a future 3rd or a future 2nd on top of that. Just the 4th, which kind of leads me to believe that there was another team involved. I think another team on the low key was like, look, just try the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just pull their card, see what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're trying to try Terry and Raheem. Like, they're trying to, not trying to say they're trying to, go at these, these staff members' intelligence. Like, Raheem don't know what he's doing at the head coach, and Terry don't know what he's doing at the GM. But Terry wasn't biting the bait.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't bite the bait at all.
I wonder if that's ever been done before.
I think it has, but then again, I mean, it's 2024. I mean, for the Falcons, I haven't heard it or seen it. But we see now that the Bears try to get in.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying I wonder if that's been done where a team makes a trade with another team, deceptively
help another team set up for a trade.
I don't, and I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I don't recall that ever being done. Like typically, let's say if the Falcons and the Giants trade with the Falcons are making the pick. The Falcons trade with the Giants, and now the Giants have just traded with the Cowboys. I don't know that I've ever seen that done. So,
I'm still looking at the draft board too, as well, saying, where did the Bears? And I see some Bears fans when they commented on this on social media, they probably thought the Falcons were going wide receiver. They didn't have no trust in Mooney. They had no trust in Moore, and it's like, where do you guys not see that? Where the Falcons just paid Mooney that money, and he's also been in that number 2 kind of role, that number 2 and 1 role before in Chicago. Too bad he had a running back throwing him the ball, but still, I mean, Mooney he's been not the greatest receiver. He's a decent receiver here in the NFL. But I think the Bears were probably they had something on their draft board that said the Falcons may go wide receiver here and take Rome, and they were kind of nervous, so they wanted to make a move quickly. But you can see here, you see the GM for the Bears mentioning might as well call Terry, right? And then you see the assistant general manager might as well call Terry, Ian Cunningham, just to see, just give him a ring, call the 404 number, see what they answer.
Yeah, that almost sounds like a dare. Like that doesn't sound like something they were firmly committed to.
You look at the guy next to the Bears GM when they say call the Falcons. He looks surprised. Like, why? He turns like, what? The Falcons?
He did. He sure
what do
did.
You mean? Nobody informed me of this.
Or because that had to be before they make the pick. That had to be. So
look,
you're right.
He turns around like, Atlanta, where's that? Watch. He turns around. Watch. He said, where's Atlanta? Watch. See?
Yeah. Well, so that lets you know he didn't think they were taking a receiver.
Yeah.
He definitely didn't think they were. I don't know what was behind that, but even in that exchange, it's not like he's saying, hey, bro, we need to get the Falcons on the phone. It's kind of like a laissez-faire. Hey, why don't we just try it? You know what I mean? You know
They're
what?
even questioning each other. Do you feel like you actually need to do it? Like, we're at 9. Like, I don't see that happening. Maybe the Bears GM had a little text message behind the scenes from a team. Remember, there was 4 teams wanting to trade up to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the Bears come into this?
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, it could have been. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, and I'm not saying it can't happen. I don't recall it, because would that be in bad faith a little, do you think? Would that be in bad faith? Like if a team comes up to trade, and I guess they can do what they want to do with the pick, but if you were a GM for the Falcons, and you made a trade with Chicago, and then all of a sudden Chicago traded with someone, would you feel like they were disingenuous? And then secondly, would you do another trade with them?
I'd be if you're going with best player available, man. We talked about this with Terry. Best player available. They want their guy to go get their guy. They didn't trade because they wanted their guy. Maybe Terry felt as though, hey, something's up here with this trade.
It could have been.
Not feeling it, something's up. But if you would have traded at 9, just imagine if you would have lost Penix.
Right.
Then you would have been pissed. Not the fans.
Which is what I'm asking you.
Terry and the staff, because that's the guy that they circled. They flew the whole crew out to Washington for him at 8. We can say that now.
I'm asking you, Jack Spade, the GM. If it's you,
I'd be pissed if I would have made that trade. Another team comes up, takes my guy. Then it's a rival between me and the Bears in the front office behind the scenes.
And will
just
you ever
because my BPA is the one guy,
right?
Not the board of 10 where we're talking about Dallas Turner and Latu and Jared No. They circled Michael Penix since they made that trip in Washington. There was no other. You couldn't tell them anything else.
Yeah.
In that war room that night, that Penix wasn't going to be there at 8. I think they knew Penix was there at 8.
Yeah. Would you ever do a deal with him again after that?
I wouldn't do a deal with my neighbor for 20 years if he was a Cowboys fan or a Bears fan. I'm just telling you right now. So if you see the Bears calling my phone on draft night, trying to move up one spot to give me a 4th, I ain't budging. Bro, let me tell you something. I play Madden, and we're going to get to Madden here in a minute. I play Madden. I've got some ridiculous trades the day of the draft in the group chats.
Okay.
Like, bro, who do you think I am, bro? A robot? You think I'm a bot or something, bro? You think I'm going to accept this trade?
Right.
Like, people hit me up, bro. I'll give you a 5th and a 4th, bro. Give me AJ and Kyle. Bro, shut your ass up and get out my DM.
Right. Did you even think about it before you brought this to me?
Sometimes they don't, because that's how certain Madden players are. They just don't give a shit. They'll send the most ridiculous trades because they will catch a dummy slipping. They will catch you. If I inbox 30 something, let me tell you something, Terry. I think I said this on the podcast before. There was a draft that we did on Madden with some of the gamers a couple months ago, and I was able to move up from 18th to 8th in the draft by just talking to different people. I called Boo Man first. Look, Boo Man, where you at? You at 12? All right, look. I'm going to package something for you from 16 to 12. You don't need your guy. I know how you play. You don't need that wide receiver you're looking at. You can go get this guy. I had to put on my car salesman, my Al Bundy role to get from 16 to 12. And then Boo Man did not know that behind the scenes, I was making other trades once I get that 12. When I get that 12, I done hit the 8 up like, bro, I'm ready to go. Boo Man didn't know that.
You think Boo Man was now? Let me ask you this:
but he made the trade, but he didn't also know that. Damn, Jack just moved from 16 to 8 to go get his quarterback.
Do you think he was pissed that you did that?
No, because we're friends, and that's the way that we play Madden.
Okay,
but think about the NFL when they need their. This is a video game versus the Falcons trying to get their guy for the future.
Right.
If they mess up this move at 8, a team comes up from 9 to get the guy at 8, and next thing you know, oh, here come the Raiders calling. Hey, you know what? We'll give you everything for Penix. Everything right now. I know you just made the trade with the Falcons, but hey, look. I know it's probably unheard of, but hey, look. We can't wait till 11. We need to get him now. Could have been the Vikings. Maybe the Vikings would have called from 10 to 8. We don't know. What we do know is that Terry turned down the trade offer from the Bears. Shout out to Terry. He stood on business that night. Terry Fontenot stood on business. I'm all for it. Just like the Targaryens going to stand on business tonight on House and Dragons. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We got so much to talk about. Fans in the chat are live. They are lit. It's always good to talk to fans in the chat. Joseph Avery said, hey, fellas, how y'all be? Happy Father's Day to y'all. And
Happy
all
Father's Day,
of
Joseph.
the other fathers, go Falcons. DSGB Hall's in the chat. What if we traded with the Bears and then teams that wanted a quarterback bad offered them a trade they couldn't deny? Falcons did right by making sure they got who they wanted. DSGB Hall is standing on business with this comment. Terry Fontenot is standing on business too as well. Terry F. Baby stood on business that night. Wallace Smith said this was going to be a future 4th-round pick in 2025, which was a slick move by the Bears when teams give up at least 2 draft picks to move up in the top 10. Nobody knew about the tampering situation. But now that you hear about the tampering situation, we lost a 5th for next year. Excuse me. Hold on. Let me take a sip of my American Deli. We lost a 5th for next year.
Okay.
At that time of the draft, we didn't know about the tampering situation. They kept saying severe penalties coming down. Falcons didn't know. So to take this pick early, I think for fans would have probably made them feel a little bit better in the future. Because there's some fans that was like, don't go with Penix, right? Go with a different player. So take the pick, 2024, boom, we got an extra fourth. Oh, the ruling comes down 2 months later about the Falcons tampering. We lost the fifth, but guess what? We got 2 4th rounds now for next year. But I said it as soon as the Falcons, or Ian Rappaport tweeted it, Terry's going to find some way to either move up in that draft and get that 5th back. If he really wants it, he can get it. Terry's a smart guy. He's worked these moves before. And don't forget about the players that he's played from draft night, from his draft class. They all get a chance to get out there on the field, except for Justin Schaefer for some strange reason. But Falcon fans, we'll talk about that coming up in some more episodes of One Time for the Fan. Darnell, Mr. Adamsville, West Side's in the building. Happy Father's Day, gentlemen.
Happy Father's Day, Darnell.
Big shout out to Darnell in the building. Because the Vikings gave up their 11th pick and a 4th and a 5th round pick to move up one spot in top 10 so the Bears could have done the same. Wallace Smith is in the chat.
I hear you, Wallace. I see you. Yeah, but look,
you sound like what Poles was trying to do, trying to make them moves on.
I hear you, but no, not for that. Not for that. Not
trying to make them moves on. It's Thomas Scott from the Rise Up Tour fan club.
What's up, Thomas? Hey, sir. No, I would. Hell no. I would have laughed him. Get off my phone. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Wallace Smith said, I'm with Terry. I would have turned it down too. Wallace Smith, you're invited into the war room next draft. Wallace Smith has turned down those type of trades. Come on in, Wallace. Have a seat over here. Grab you a Falcon hat and get ready for the draft for next season.
You sit right next to Mr. Terry Fontenot. Wow.
So right now we got Bodie, Chase, Carey, and we got Wallace Smith in the draft room for us next year.
There you go. Let's do it.
Wallace Smith said, what? Boy, ain't enough for Chillo's gonna make me do that. Hung the phone up on you. Thomas Scott said, Spade, you know what it is, man. We are working around the clock with the Rise Up Tour fan club. It is almost the end of June. They have a cruise next week. The Rise Up Tour fan club, they have a cruise with over 115, 120 Falcon fans on the cruise. It's great to see everybody, unite. Falcon fans off season, during the season. And that's what the Rise Up Tour fan club does, man. We have great times during the year, 24/7. Doesn't matter. But yes, a cruise next week for Falcon fans. Presented to you by the Rise Up Tour fan club. Thomas Scott, man, the crew, the staff, the group, everybody, big shout out to you all. But that cruise next week is going down in a major way. Smooth said Terry made the right move. Look at these Falcon fans in the chat that know that Terry was standing on business.
On business.
You gotta love it. Thomas Scott with the Happy Father's Day, fellas. Dwayne Ruffin. Dwayne Ruffin with the Happy Father's Day, fellas. All love.
Happy Father's Day, D-Ruff.
Wallace Smith is standing on business again. He said, I don't think us losing that 5th round pick is going to hurt us next year. It's not. It's not going to hurt us. If Terry wanted to package that 6th and 7th and get us a 5th, we could. If he wanted to package a player and get a 5th, we could. Terry knows exactly what he's doing. And now it really goes to the situation of, does Terry get the extension before the end of the year? Right? Does Terry get a chance to sit here with Raheem for the next 3 to 4 years and finish out what he started? I mean, it's unfortunate what happened with him and Arthur Smith. But now you get Raheem Morris here for 4 to 5 years. You get Kirk Cousins here for 3, 4, 5 years. Terry, it'd be wrong to get Terry up out of here, right? The Falcons are making the right moves. Why would they let go of Terry? I know this is going into his contract year too. Remember, it was the 4-year deal, right? So
I think he's got to make the playoffs this year. I think he will.
I think he's done enough for him before the season starts. You get an announcement that the Falcons have extended Terry Fontenot. Look at the cap room situation. Remember the Matt Ryan, the Julio Jones. I remember Terry stood on business when wasn't the interview like when he was first hired and his kids were wearing like the Julio Jones jersey. Like, yeah, they love Julio. And a couple weeks later, what happened? No more Julio.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone.
He stood on business. He had to fix the team. He had to fix the cap room. Remember the dead cap with Matt Ryan? He had to fix this. He knew what the future was money-wise if we get out this hellhole. He did it. Then he turned to his right and saw a guy with a mustache standing there drinking a Bud Light. He's like, what do you want? Like, I want Desmond Ridder to be my quarterback. Oh, shit. Well, all right, we'll give him that too. And The guy with the mustache and the beard was gone. And a couple of his fans too. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. It's going down in a major way as we get ready to finish the last two topics here. And then, dun, 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 House of the Dragons.
House of the Dragon. What?
House of the Dragons. Falcon fans, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. Calling all Madden players. Terry, do you play Madden?
I do.
You what?
I do. I play me some Madden.
Terry, you're up for the smacks now.
Man,
I had your name on the list.
Bro, I hadn't played in a while. You know, you know what I mean? But when I did, like, I probably say I've been inactive from Madden about a year. But when I was playing, you know,
you was active. You was giving people the business online.
Some folks, yes. Some.
Sheesh, and of course you probably used the Falcons as well.
I did use the Falcons. Although I must admit, like, towards the end, it got kind of hard to, you know, it got kind of hard at the quarterback position. No shots against anyone, but yeah, I've always been a Falcon. I've always played with the Falcons. So yeah.
For Falcon fans in the chat, Christian McCaffrey's on the cover of the Madden 25 video game. And for those that are ready to play Madden, don't forget we have NCAA college football coming out first. For all the NFL fans and college football fans that's really big on playing college football, that game hasn't been around for almost 10 plus years. So for all you dog fans that's trying to challenge me, I play with the dogs. I'm not playing dog on dog. We don't do dog on dog violence. Ain't no
dog on dog violence.
No dog on dog violence.
Peace. He chose peace.
I choose peace. That's what I do.
Same
thing when I play Falcon, when I play Madden 2, same thing. It's just what it is, Terry. When I play Madden, I can't play Falcons on Falcons. I can't go out there and sack Kirk Cousins 5-6 times. That doesn't look right. I don't want to pick off Kirk Cousins 3-4 times when I'm playing Madden.
I've done it. I have done it. I usually make a habit not to do it, but I've done it. But what's interesting is when you play with your Falcons and you see somebody else play with your Falcons and they do things that you haven't thought of doing. Like they do things that are innovative that you haven't seen, and you're like, and then you kind of go back to it, and then you try and implement it. So I make it a habit really not to do that, but I have done it, and when I did, I did learn something. So I thought it was interesting. But what do you think about the Madden curse? What do you think about the Madden?
So the Madden curse, I think it's real.
Well, I mean, there's got to be something to it. Would you have done it with his injury history? If you're CMC, would you have done it?
You know, even for CMC, you know, a lot of these players don't even believe in the Madden curse. But there are some fans, gamers, people around the world that do believe that this is real. We've seen in the past a lot of the players that's been on the Madden curse suffered injuries during the season, or a team hasn't done well. So for me as a Falcon fan, it's good to see another team that's not a Falcon player or team member on the cover, because we're trying to win this year and I don't need no superstitions breaking us down. But if the 49ers go 1-16, I think you know why. If McCaffrey get 1,000 this year, I think you know why. It's the Madden cover. But for Falcon fans in the chat that love playing Madden, you have some new game features too as well. You have the new 3D selecting team screens that are actually pretty cool too as well, with the top players appearing at the bottom of the screen, which is pretty cool. The different weather scenarios that they're going to lay out now, a lot more realistic weather scenarios they're going to be playing in Madden this year. The new ESPN scoreboard, Terry, too as well. That is, you know, everybody's talking about. But there's something that caught my eye when I was looking at Madden here, when I was looking at this, you know, the new Madden. I was very upset, Terry. I was upset when I saw this.
And why is this?
I need to know
what sparked your ire.
Well, I want to let you know what really grinds my gears. And it seems to be some type of lag with StreamYard, so it's not us, it's StreamYard. But for some strange reason, Terry, they did us dirty in Madden. How did they do us dirty in Madden? Well, let me show you.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, but wait, there is more. Terry, can you see it on the screen?
I see it.
Can you see the Falcon player on the screen?
Yes.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know. We can't see his face. It looks like
you can't see his face.
Is that Ritter? You can't see his face. You just see the number 9. Is that Penix, or it looks like Penix with the wristbands?
That is Tony Gonzalez.
With the number 9 jersey?
That is not Michael Penix. Who the hell is that? The Falcons put in Madden this year wearing number 9.
I don't know.
This is where I hate playing Madden. There's a couple players that the Falcons didn't have on Madden recently. I've been playing Madden for well over 10 years, and you get excited for this game, Terry. It drops, you get your homeboys online, you're playing the online franchise in the leagues, but for some of us, we might want to put Michael Penix in the game. And that's not Michael Penix. That's somebody that works at Subway. I've never seen this version of Michael Penix before. I don't know if this is
fresh.
Cloned Michael Penix. This might be, for you House of the Dragon fans, this might be Westeros Michael Penix.
Westeros Michael Penix. Who was that guy, the many-face guy that could transform?
Oh, the many-face god?
Yeah.
This could be him.
Maybe that's him.
That damn sure isn't Michael Penix. I don't know what that is. Michael Penix, if you're watching this, we got your back. After this podcast, we're going to tweet Madden. We're going to tweet Chad Johnson, Ocho Cinco. Because he's on the Madden team too as well with the ratings and the performance. If Chad Johnson was in that room, and he knows football, if he was in that room and had anything to do with some of these player game designs, he should have stopped him right there. Like, hey, yo, I'm not a Falcon fan. You know how Chad talks. I'm not a Falcon fan, but that ain't Michael Penix. So for you Madden players that's playing Madden this year, hopefully by the time they finish the full game beta that they have out right now, the demo, they get this fixed. And then what is going on here? What happened here? Somebody hit him with a sledgehammer from this side. What is going on over here? Why is all the body weight over here on this side? And this is not Michael Penix. This is the dude that's in that's one of the Jonas brothers. Hey, no way in hell is Michael Penix. So that's what really grinds my gears, Terry. Saw this the other day on Twitter. I was like, I cannot believe they did this. And there's a couple other players they messed up too as well. Like they got Max Crosby looking ridiculous. Nick Mullen, I think, as well. He's looking ridiculous on there. So there's a couple players they have to fix. But why, Madden? Why the Falcons? We're having so much success in the offseason. And then here comes Madden with this shit.
Maybe they just want to keep us humble, Jack. I don't know. But hey, I mean, if we go out and win a Super Bowl this year, is anybody going to care? No. As a matter of fact, if we do it again next year. Do it again. Same thing. Hey, I just want to win. So
I'm cool. They got Colombian Michael Penix here playing Madden this year. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Miguel Penix. Miguel
Penix. Falcon fans, hit that share, hit that subscribe. It's more from X-Man 97. Sheesh.
Wow. That was a very good show. Have you seen that show?
I've seen a couple episodes. I need to go back and finish it all. I'm a big Marvel guy too as well, so I definitely have to pick up on some this summer. But then Deadpool's coming out, so I'm going to be ready by the time Deadpool drops.
Very good show. Very, very good show. I like the fact that they were true to a lot of the storylines in that show. Very well written. Very good show.
That's good. Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. We're about 10 minutes away or so from House of the Dragon.
House of the Dragon. See, now I got to go back and watch the first season, Jack. Jeez. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, you got time.
Not before 9 o'clock.
I mean, of course not before 9 o'clock. I mean, if you wanted to, you could just miss the episode tonight and then go back and watch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. How was it? Is it 10 episodes or 12?
It's long, bro. Bro, it's You're gonna be there for a couple hours sitting there watching Game of Thrones.
No, I'm saying in last season, was it 10 episodes? How many episodes?
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're around 7, 8, 10. Yeah, between 7 and 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And of course, they do the cool thing of having some episodes that's 60 minutes, some is 75 minutes. So fans are like, oh, an extra 15 minutes. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
HBO kind of looks out for them, in different ways. Falcon fans hit that like.
Show? I'm sorry.
Huh?
It's their number one show, right? It's in it HBO's number one show.
It is HBO's number one show. Terry, here's the cool thing about this. Because I have some stuff to do, and it's gonna get crazy here in about 5 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with the upcoming events, and let's do a pop-up show tomorrow.
Okay. What time?
Right, so we can come back in here and keep it real with the Atlanta Falcons fans. I know what they want to do. They want to talk football all night.
Let's do it.
And I want to talk football all night.
What time are we doing it?
Let's do a pop-up show. Let me connect with some other podcasters just to see, what's going on with their schedule. Maybe we can get a special guest in here. Maybe we can't. But if not, we will have a pop-up show. It could be 8 o'clock, could be 9 o'clock, could be 10 o'clock, could be 1 in the morning. It doesn't matter for Falcon fans because we always want to talk Falcons football. And we are here for you when it comes to
I want to see you do a show at 1 in the morning.
You want to see me do a show at 1 in the morning?
I want to see you do a show.
We have a pretty big West Coast crew now.
I just want to see you do it at 1 in the morning. Like I've seen you play video games, so I know you're up.
I'm up.
But I want to see 1 in the morning, Jack, on a show like that. I wonder what that'd be like. So yeah, I want to see that. Definitely.
Well, you never know. I think One Time for the Fan has grown to the level where fans not only enjoy our Sunday night shows and our Wednesday night shows and our Friday morning shows, but I can go live at 4 in the morning and probably have a group of fans in here talking Falcons football.
I'm down. Hey, bro, just let me know. I'm down.
There are fans here in the chat that stay up late, right? So if we do reach you sometimes by doing a podcast at 11 or 11:30 or 12 or 1 a.m., don't get mad at us. We're up, awake, talking Falcons.
We don't.
So why not go live and let everybody hear what we have to say?
Let's do it.
That's what it's all about here when we talk Falcons football. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe button. Talked about the Falcons, Bears, the Falcons declining the Bears trade at draft night.
The deceit, the Bears' deception. We foiled their evil plans. And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddlesome kids. What's that from? Come on, Jack. I know you know.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe.
No, I'll say it again. And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddlesome kids. Think about it, kids. Scooby-Doo. Reggie. Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo.
You starting to get like Deshaun now. And that's going to be a problem. I ain't going to get stumped. I ain't going to get stumped 2 times in one episode. Right? Pretty good at what I do here. But I'm not going to get stumped twice.
I'm about to get a penalty. Damn it.
No penalties today. No penalties today. Referee's not in the building. There's no referee here today.
Damn.
But Falcon fans in the chat, let's do this the right way, right? We talked about Falcons declining the Bears trade. What the hell was Madden doing with the big shout to Smooth C and the shout to Scooby-Doo? Smooth C already knew.
Smoothie! Well, I don't know. Smooth C. Smoothie. Was that cool? Was that not cool? Was that, I don't know. Was that a cool nickname?
Smooth C's probably like, well, I got the shout out. So yeah, that's cool.
Smooth C, good job, man. Good job. If it wasn't cool, I'm sorry. I don't know what's cool anymore, man. So if it wasn't cool, I'm sorry.
Look, that's the cool thing about having a podcast. We can, like I said, we can talk Falcons with you all the time.
Yep.
So let's do it tomorrow night again.
Yep.
We'll talk Falcons football with a pop-up show. We'll have our Wednesday show. We'll still have our Friday show. And then we'll be back again Sunday. Man, we have a whole slate of One Time for the Fan for you all. And we have some special guests coming up too as well. I'm going to have to call a couple up and be like, hey, let's change that date and get y'all in here this week. Yeah. Because people want to talk Falcons with y'all. Terry, for tonight, what shout-outs do you have, man? I know we'll be back tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow night. But what shout-outs you got tonight for the fans?
Hey, man, shout out to Deshaun for stepping his game up as far as those trivia questions are concerned. Shout out to all of the fathers. Hey, man, happy Father's Day to everybody. Shout out to my dad, no longer here with us, but I'm sure he's somewhere irritating my mom. So, Dad, that's for you. Hey, man, shout out to all the wonderful fans in the chat. Shout out to my family, my wife, everybody, my folks at my job, and last but not least, shout out to God. Thank you, for whom all blessings flow. And of course, my friend, I think I can call Jack my friend. Shout out to you. And thank you. And as long as you keep inviting me, I'll keep coming back. And now I'm going to defer to you. And it's near that time for what now? What's the name of that show?
Dun dun dun. House of the Dragon.
Dragon. There you go. All right, Jack, go ahead.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Happy Father's Day once again to all the fathers of the world. Thank you all to my family. You know, they do a good job of, making sure I stay grounded here. Not only with One Time for the Fan, but everything else I have to do. But big shout out to them. Without them, the support, it'd be taken a different way. So big shout out to my family. Big shout out to Terry, Bodie, Chase, Carrie. Hopefully we get Carrie back here this week too as well. She's super busy, right? Yeah. Everybody with One Time for the Fan is offseason is super busy, but we know week 1 against the Steelers, what's going on.
It's going down.
We're glued in. We're tuned in.
We're locked in. We're locked in.
Big shout out to all the Atlanta Falcon fans here in the chat. Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts. We are back tomorrow, so don't trip. Talking Falcons with a quick pop-up podcast. We got some more things to go over. That can wait. And maybe in the next 24 hours, some news comes out about the Atlanta Falcons that we can also use to, help boost the show. But I want to say thank you all. It is now time for Dun 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 House of the Dragon. My friend texted me and said, "Nah, you can keep talking. You can catch the replay at 9:45, 10 o'clock.
Nah.
No, you can catch the replay at 9:45, 10 o'clock.
That's right.
What we normally do is we watch it now when it's live. Oh shit! Look! Oh my God! This look at that TV. What we do is we normally watch it now live, and then later on, like around 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, if we're still up, we go back and then we watch the replay again. You got to see it 2 times in one day.
That's
right?
A following.
I don't want to watch it tomorrow morning. I don't want to wake up and see the spoilers. I know people are tweeting about it and talking about it right now on social media. I get off social media. Matter of fact, turn my phone off right now.
Off.
Somebody's gonna spoil it in the next 2 minutes. Oh my God, he's on. Oh my God, I don't want to hear that shit.
Right.
Some people do that for power too as well. You power, folks. You ghost. What's that? Ghost? Is it Ghost?
Yes, Ghost.
I don't watch Power, so I don't know. I've seen people say, "I don't watch Power."
What?
I don't. Hey,
wow!
I'm gonna wow myself here on this one.
Wow!
Damn. I don't watch Power, but there's a lot of people that get upset when you drop Power spoilers online. Is gonna die tonight, and it's like, I don't. Chat going at it. Why did you do that? Take this down.
Why did you do that?
What? Also, big shout out to George R. Martin, creator.
Shout out to George.
We're back tomorrow night, talking Falcons football, pop-up podcast. Wednesday night, we're back. Friday morning, we're back. Terry?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you then, sir.
See you then. Have a good night.
Have a good one, brother.